Hi, this is CK at CK Education, and today I want to talk about the top 5 career skills that you must obtain. If you don't have these 5, it will be detrimental to your career success. If you have these 5, no matter what career field you're in, it will help you become better. It will help you get to the next level. It will help you become more successful, more versatile. You get noticed more. I mean, this is just, it's going to help your career in every way if you will obtain these 5 career skills. Now, these skills may not be what you think. Okay, when I say career skills, people say things like, oh, like project management, or like if I become a certified project manager, or they're thinking about certifications. Those are not have really nothing to do with anything. Okay, those are, it's like saying, well, if I get a master's degree, if I get an MBA, will that advance my career? A degree doesn't necessarily advance your career at all. Anybody can get a degree. I mean, it's like a degree, all that does is, in some jobs, if they require you to have a bachelor's degree, or in some jobs, if they require you to have a master's degree, or in some jobs, if it requires a PhD, then certainly those are bare minimum requirements. But even in that, let's say you have a PhD already and you're a professor. Let's say you have a PhD and you're a researcher in some company. Let's say you have a master's degree and you are already a mid-level manager, okay? Let's say you have a master's degree or a bachelor's degree and you are already an engineer. You are already a dentist. You are already, fill in the blank. It doesn't matter. Like I said, these skills are universal. These relate to anybody in any field. I'm not talking about one specific field. I'm not talking about certifications. I'm not talking about schooling or degrees or advanced degrees or anything like that. These are universal career skills that if you have them, no matter what your career choice is, it will help you. So I can't go into a lot of depth into every one of these, and I may make subsequent videos that go into more depth in each of these. So if you're interested in something like that, or if you want me to make a video about something, you have questions, or you want to go a little bit deeper, put them in the comments and below, and I will read them and I will absolutely consider it. But let me just go over these 5, okay? The number 1 sales skill that you must obtain, if you do not have it, if you've never done this, okay, is sales. Is sales. Now you might say immediately, well, wait a minute. I'm a doctor. I don't need sales. I'm not selling anything. Oh, but you are. Okay? Or I'm a lawyer. I don't need sales. I'm a manager. I used to be in sales. I'm a manager now. I'm not doing sales anymore. Okay? Someone says, I'm an engineer. I don't do sales. Okay? I was an engineer. I was a consultant. I was a recruiter. I was in sales. The sales that I'm talking about is not necessarily selling a product or service. Like you're saying to somebody, hey, would you like to buy this? It's not that kind of thing necessarily that I'm talking about. When I say sales, I'm talking about the sales process. Whether you're a doctor, whether you're a lawyer, whether you're a dentist, whether you're a pharmacist, whether you're an engineer, whether you're a manager, whether you're in corporate finance, whether you're in HR, it doesn't matter what your field is. You could have a blue-collar job, you could have a white-collar job. It doesn't matter. You can be in IT. Everybody does sales all the time. We just don't know it. And some of us are really bad at it, okay? The sales process is very, very important to understand. And just sort of going over, just glossing over in very, very general terms, what I mean is everything that we do, every interaction in our career has to do something with sales. We are trying to persuade somebody of something, whether you're a politician, whether you're management, whether you're a frontline worker, no matter what the thing is, as you are interacting with different people in your field or your customers, your suppliers, it could be your executives, your bosses, your manager, your employees, it could be your colleagues, it could be your patients, it can be your clients, it can be whatever it is. We are always in the process of sales. We are in the sales process. It's just that a lot of us don't realize that. A lot of us are very bad at it. And then we wonder why we don't get success. We wonder why things don't turn out the way that we would like them to turn out. More things are about sales than you think. In fact, I've come to the conclusion everything is sales. We just don't know it. Okay? Sales begins with a connection. Sales begins with trust. Sales begins with rapport. And so, just as an example, when we work with our colleagues, when we work with our employees, when we work with our supervisors, our clients, or whatever it is, do you focus as the first step, in the first step of that interaction? What do you first consider? Are you focused on creating that relationship, that common bond, that connection, that rapport, that trust? And you say, no, I go right into the facts, man. I'm about data. I'm a facts person. I'm a data person. We go into the data. We present the facts. That's probably why you're not getting results, okay? Because if you're doing that, you're probably not getting the results that you want. Like I said, it doesn't matter what you do. If you're a dentist, what is the first thing that you focus on? Let's just begin in your office with your fellow staff members. What is the first thing that you focus on? Is it results? Is it productivity? No, it should be a relationship. It should be rapport, trust, connection, common ground, common bond. That is the first and most important step in the sales process. You say, well, I just wanted them to work harder. They're lazy. You got to build a relationship. Okay, it works in anything. With your customers, is it just giving them really good, high quality dental treatment, which is super important. But more important that to the patient is the relationship, it's the trust, it's the connection, it's a common bond with the dentist, with the doctor, with my lawyer, with the person who's renovating my house, okay? It doesn't matter what relationship in the work relationship it is, that is the most important thing. Because if you don't have that, you don't have trust. And if you don't have trust, then you don't have anything special. Trust between two people is a thing that makes it special. And if you don't understand that, and you thought I didn't know that was part of sales. That is the most important part of sales. Sales is not just, hey, I got this watch. You want to buy this watch? It has really good features. This is how a lot of people try to sell. No wonder they're not successful. It's not about that. It's not about that. It's not about that at first. Understand this. Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. It's always about that first. Okay, it's not about, like I do, I've taught nearly 1,000 students in the past 12, 13 years, and I've taught one-on-one over 20,000 hours teaching students one-on-one. I know in my mind and in my heart, and I knew this from the start, because I learned this a long time ago. Yes, it's important that I know what I'm talking about. It's important that what I do is effective. It's important that what I do raises their scores. It's important. That's all important. But you know what's more important than that? You know what the most important thing is? That I've always made it a goal to make this the number one focus. And what is that? To make sure my students know that I care. That's number one. Make sure that I develop a connection, a relationship, a trust with each student. That's the most important thing. If I don't have that, I'm just another tutor. I don't want to be just another tutor. I want to have that special quality. And that only comes with trust. That only comes with connection, rapport. Okay. So I hope you understand, no matter what you do, okay, what do you do? What is your career? What do you do? It doesn't matter. Whatever you do, what I just told you relates. It applies. You see, well, I just renovate houses. Like I just said. The most important thing for you is to build a trust, a relationship, a connection with your customer, the homeowner that you are renovating the house for. Most important thing. Okay, so it doesn't matter what you do. And I'm just saying that's the first step of the sales process. Like I said, I'm already going into too much depth here. Okay, I'm not going to get to the other four. I will, but Okay, there are steps, and the first step is more. So I'm just trying to tell you how important sales is, more than you think, and it's not what you think. Okay, it's not just trying to persuade someone to buy something or do something. It begins with trust. That's the first sales step process. Now there are other steps, and you have to do all these steps. But if you don't understand that, you're not going to get very good at it. You can't be good at what you don't understand. You can't be good at what you don't even know. So sales is number one. You got to be good at sales. Number two, you have to be good at public speaking. Public speaking. Again, people are going to say, yeah, but I don't speak in public. I don't have seminars, and I'm not a professor. I don't speak to 200 students. Those are for professors and speakers and people like that, authors and, people who speak in public in front of large. Like I said, man, I just renovate houses. Like I said, I just meet with my patients one-on-one every day. Okay? I'm a doctor. I'm just an engineer. I mean, I'm in IT. I don't need public speaking. There are some career positions in which nobody expects you to be good at public speaking. Okay, let me just take me as an example. I was an engineer. I was an engineer for nearly 15 years. Nobody expected me to be good at public speaking. In fact, nobody expected an engineer to be good at writing or communications in general. That's just, when people hire engineers, they don't hire them to communicate or to articulate well, to write something, to be good in verbal and written communication skills. That is not usually a thing they look for. They look more for technical skills. But you know what? I was good at verbal and written communications. In fact, I loved writing, always loved writing. I love speaking. I did it a lot. I love doing it. And there were many times in my engineering career in which I didn't have to use that every day. But I can tell you as a matter of fact that because I had those skills, because I loved writing and because I loved communicating and speaking in public, I was very comfortable with that and I could do that. That accelerated my career beyond my expectations. Okay? Especially in fields in which you are not expected to be good at that. If you are good at that, you will stand out. You will stand out. See, you will not only be a doctor, you will be a doctor who can go speak in places. You will not just be an engineer, you'll be an engineer who can train 50 engineers. Okay? You won't just be a home renovation person, you can be a home renovation person who has clinics, who teaches people, who can manage people, who can speak to people. You see, public speaking skills are so important, especially in fields in which you are not expected to be good at that. Okay, so it is so important to be good at that. So how do you become good at public speaking? It takes practice. I mean, you just have to do it. You say, well, I don't know any place to do it. You got to find avenues to do it. Okay, you have to find avenues. And you got to constantly practice. There are groups that you can join in which you can help, that you can practice and so on and so forth. You can Google that but you got to get on this is something that you've got to do, something that you got to add to your, ammunition, okay? Your career skills is public speaking. Number 3 is organization. And when I say organization, you got to get good at organizing. Okay, this is micro and macro. This is small and big. Organization, you got to get good at organization. It's not just organizing your notes and organizing your workplace, and that's all important too. You got to be organized in yourself, in what you are doing. But to make it big, to make it much bigger, to get to the next level, you have to be good at organizing and creating a system. See, if you can create a system, if you can create standardized procedures, if you can create a process for what you do, you are now on your way to becoming an entrepreneur, your own boss, your own. See, you can be a doctor and you can work in a hospital. You can do that. You can be a dentist and work for some other in a dental office. But you can also be your own, you can have your own office. You can be your own desk. And a lot of people in the health profession or even in engineering and many other professions, They're fine working for other people, but deep inside they really want to have their own thing, but they cannot. Why? One of the biggest obstacles is they don't know how to create a system. If you can't create a system, then you have no business. You can't run a business. A business is a system. It runs on the system. It's like a gear. How does your system run? Well, I don't have a system. Okay, no wonder. You can't, there's no business to have. You got to create a system in everything. So you got to get good at organizing, documenting, understanding what the process flow is and what the resources are that are required for each step of the process and what it costs and how long it takes and what comes before, what's the order, what's the sequencing. You got to understand all this and you got to plan it and you got to organize, you got to create it. You got to implement it. You got to test it. You got to refine it. All of these processes, you got to be able to do that. And the better you do that, the easier and easier it becomes to become your own boss. Number 4 is research. Now, when I say research, again, some people say I'm not a researcher. I'm not talking about that, okay? I'm not talking about becoming a scientist. I'm not talking about getting a PhD. Again, somebody says, well, I renovate homes. This relates to you. I'm a doctor. It relates to you. I'm a lawyer. It doesn't matter what you do. Anything you do, if you're doing something in your career to make money, this relates. I'm a real estate agent. It relates to you, okay? Research, when I say research, I mean your ability to be resourceful and find information that you do not currently have. Now, in our world of the internet, there's no lack of information. There's too much information out there. So your job is to go and find that information, relevant information. There's a lot of fluff. There's a lot of garbage out there. You filter that out. And how do I get the value added, the things that really are important? How do I get that information? How do I learn it? How do I get that? Where do I go get that information? Who do I talk to get that information? What books do I have to read to get that information? What websites, what YouTube videos do I have to watch? Who do I have to talk to get that information? You got to be good at that. You have to be resourceful at finding information that you need to do your thing or things that you want to do that you can't yet do. And you got to go find that and you got to absorb and you got to get that information. You have to obtain that information. You got to get good at that. Okay. And number 5 is mastery. Okay. What do I mean by mastery? Man, is this a career skill? Yeah, let me explain. You may say, I've already mastered my skill. That's why I'm a doctor. I've already mastered my skill. That's why I'm a lawyer. That's why I'm in home renovation. I've been doing this for 13 years. I mastered my skill. I understand. And it's great that you mastered your skill. It's not what I'm talking about. What other skills have you mastered besides the one that you have very narrowly mastered and have made a living off of up to this point? Okay? So let's say you're in home renovation. You renovate homes and you have a big business and you have a big crew. You're making a ton of money. You're doing great. Okay? Or maybe you're a small guy. Okay? Maybe you want to get there. You want to have a big crew, but you've always been by yourself and one helper. And you want to get to the next level. You say, I wish I could have 10 guys, 15 guys. But you know what? In order to do that, you have to master different skills that you currently don't have. You're good at working by yourself with one other helper, but you want to go to the next level and have 10 people and have 3 projects going on at the same time. That takes a different kind of skill set. So what have you done to master that kind of skill set? Well, I haven't done anything. That's what you got to do. Whatever field you're in, you got to look at what other things that I need or I want, and you have to go master those skills. And mastery usually takes 10,000 to 20,000 hours of practice to become a true master at that thing that you are currently not a master in. So you got to go master that. And people who are not willing to do that, who say, no, man, I don't got time. I'm too tired. And I'm just going to do, then you're just going to do that thing your whole life. Now, you may be okay with that. If you're okay with that, that's okay. I'm just saying, if you go beyond that, if you stretch yourself and you start mastering other skills that are outside of your little box, you're just going to get to the next level. You're going to have more opportunities and you're going to have more success. Remember, at the beginning of this video, I said these are the 5 things you need to get to the next level, to expand, to get bigger, okay, to accelerate. So if you're just complacent, happy, satisfied, content, I don't even want to learn anything else. I just want to. I don't think you're like that. You wouldn't be watching this if you were like that, right? But mastery, when I'm talking about mastery, I'm talking about mastering something else that is not currently in your toolbox. this other thing that I don't have. Are you willing to go learn and master that thing? It takes a long time, okay? And it'll take a lot of time and effort and energy. But once you have it, it becomes yours. It becomes part of your career DNA. It just becomes part of you. You are now fluent in that thing. And if you do that, it will accelerate your career. It will accelerate your career success. So these 5 are the top 5 career skills you must have. If you have them, it's going to accelerate. It's going to make you better. So I hope you'll take heed. Again, if you have comments, if you want me to go into more details into any one, leave your comment below and I will absolutely read them, okay? I'm going to end the video here. Otherwise, I'm going to go on for 3 days. So I'm just going to end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And until my next video, please stay well.